Sup everyone, we're back with more Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. And I think it's about time we give our little detective friend over there a bit of attention. Also, speaking of detectives, look at Gregson, he's literally just staring at Sholmes. I just noticed that. Amazing. Love this game. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed! Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Oi, what are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. Alright, let's hit it. What you got for us? What's all this? Whoa. All this is precisely what you requested, Miss Naruhodo. He's got a gun. Herlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. This is all new animations. I'm in for this. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this. A refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical. Sorry, I had a bit of a stroke there. Everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. Whoa. There, now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray? How do I do that exactly? A little press of space on the area you're interested in is all that's required, like this. Okay, but what the hell's space? What is this stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally while I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Oh. Nothing there. Alright, maybe here? Yep, more there. Okay. A lot of stuff around there. Oh, so I can press... Oh, interesting. There's more over here. Well, I think this is the obvious place to touch. Wow, a lot of it. Look, there are dozens of handprints here. Sorry, let me try that one again. Look, there are dozens of handprints here. So there are, a great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact.
It sends a chill down my spine.
Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he was admiring this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all.
And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel.
Oh, very true, Mrs. Otto. It's a bit of a mystery, then. There's gotta be another place. Okay. Court record. No, I can't do anything here. Okay, there's some up there. This is just going to be a bunch of trial and error, but hopefully it'll pan out. Oh, look at all this here. Oh, damn. You know, I actually noticed that plank. Huh. I didn't think there would actually be anything in there. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints.
Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot?
Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here.
There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there?
I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over.
I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes.
Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor.
Yes, there's no obvious explanation. I mean, I would say there is. It's a frickin'... You can clearly see that that the frickin' plank is slightly up.
I would say that that leads to something.
Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we?
Interesting stuff.
We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say.
Yeah, first off, the plank. The handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean?
Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment.
Yeah, thank you. Let's check it.
Ah!
What is it, Mrs. Otto?
Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out.
Yep. One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place. Excellent work, Mrs. Sato. So, what do we have in here? Alright, what are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around under the floor here. Your fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need.
What you got? Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. As for the ones on the wall, maybe there's something behind the painting? It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat.
No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Yeah.
Oh! I'll investigate at once.
Well, there is a box right underneath that painting. Maybe they stood... Maybe Shamspeare would stand on top of it and put his hands on the wall. Maybe he'd put his hands on the wall for support to check something. There is a gas light up there.
There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall.
Okay, so it's not a secret behind the painting type thing. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints?
I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that.
Click. There you are, print for you. Photograph of the handprints on the wall has been entered into the court record. Thank you, Sholmes. These two ones going in my cringe compilation. No, it's evidence for the case. Oh, drat. Oh, thank you very much. This invention can make prints too? Now then. I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know.
So am I.
Guess we gotta talk to him. What you got, man? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Man, sometimes half of the stuff I say... Inspector Gregson, really, it's been too long.
anytime I voice Sholmes, like, I end up turning half of the frickin', what do you call them? Not vowels. Consonants. I turn, like, half the consonants possible into a frickin' W. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Oh, I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard. And before... I wouldn't be surprised if we don't figure it out until the second trial. Also, frickin'... It's so... I never get tired of when he does a pose before saying something. Like when he did like a very dramatic pose and then said, a dismal failure. Like that is peak Sholmes right there, if you ask me. Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place, after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? All 3 different things, huh? That's all big news. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. And made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh my goodness! He'd committed a capital offense? A man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocks off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like, but he'd hidden it somewhere, and no one knows where. And now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the newspaper we've got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn up anything. Okay, we'll have to examine that. Criminal sentenced to receive the death penalty. Oh. Right off the bat, I want to know their full name. Can we check it in more detail? Manchester's Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden. By natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Of natural causes, they say, huh? Interesting. Yeah, let's look at what the print they got is. We'll just go in order. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Wait, I already... Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, that's... Okay. I see the picture. Both literally and metaphorically. Okay. Okay, so Garridub. Garridub is standing next to a dude. We saw that same dude on a frickin' picture frame in the hospital that Ryunosuke and Susato said might be a lover of Miss Green. Oh, that leaves a connection between Miss Green and Shamspear. I don't know what Garridub's there for, but maybe it was a former tenant? Wait a second! Oh my god!
Soseki said that his place was cursed, that his lodgings were cursed, because someone died before, someone lived in the lodgings before him that died. Is this guy, if this guy's standing next to Garudub, was he a former tenant? And was he the one that died? Oh my god, if that's the case. Yo, my third eye awakened on that. Okay, yeah, let's get a closer look at this. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garudub, the... Oh, right, sorry, that's Isato. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garudub, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garudub's son, perhaps? Nope. Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Is that true? I have an idea of who as well. Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. Well, you're better than Gumshoe on that. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Twice. Yes, I heard. Twice. Together with a young man. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shakespeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garudub was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. I don't know about that. We'll see. Well, he still has his pipe. They said that this looked recent. I'm trying to see if anything stands out. This dude does have painting stuff and some type of parchment. There's definitely a correlation. I just don't know exactly as to what. Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Certainly. Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shakespeare, give us a clue, man! You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruto. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty. Rather like how I feel inside. Yeah, same mood. I mean, what? Is there nothing more to this box, then? I wonder. Haha. A box that has something more to it? We haven't come across that before, nah. Especially not two things more to it. Meow? Is that Wagahai or something? Oh my god, it is Wagahai! I only said that because we haven't seen another cat in this series yet. And by the series, I mean the previous game and this game. Oh look, it's that lovely little kitty cat! What was its name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. He does? I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Clever girl. Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat's meat man. Kitty. Meow. Just as cute as always. Good kitty. On the other hand, where the hell did this cat come from? Like, we're on the first floor. This is not Soseki's room. He couldn't be happier now, look. I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Okay. Oh, he's kneading! Oh, he's so cute! Examine the Wagahai. We must see it. Aww. Oh, he's stretching! Oh, my heart is melting.
That's a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Oh, but he's so adorable. I know, right? God, I want a plush of him. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. Even though I really want to pet that cat. Okay. I feel like if Wagahai's here, then I feel like we need to go somewhere. Oh, I know what to do. Let's go back. Yo, can I talk to you? Yeah. We already saw this. Okay, show it. Have a revelation. Guys, have a revelation, please. I'm just gonna see if there's anything special here. Nope, okay. I guess we're not doing that. Okay, next stop. Let's try the Gyarados. Maybe we can talk to... Nope, he's not here. Well, crap. Prison? This, maybe. Nope, he has nothing to say. Okay, I was kind of banking on you, dude. I don't know what to do next, so I'm just gonna present all this random crap. Oh, here. What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspear's room. So he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. Wait. What? He's already taken one... Oh, right. He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another. A miserable mustache, malignant Japanese man. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. Oh my god. Okay, we actually got someone. Capital offender Selden. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Gyarados' house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes. Exactly where I live now. In my very room. So you share the room of that used to belong to a convicted killer? Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal? Found guilty of a capital offense? Before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse... What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume? It's already caused one death, a few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger. He was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Oh my god. Was I right? Is it actually that dude? Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it? Mm-hmm. Yes, well, that was the start of it. What do you got? Tell us more. Tell us more, we need to know this. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? That wasn't even me reading Ryunosuke's line. That was me reacting.
I only found that out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garrett came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease luckily legal. Lucky for Mr. Garrett, you mean? Not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you. It is. At first. I just felt as though I was being watched. All the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice. But why is your room so cold? London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible. That's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. So, wait. You're saying that you're getting strangled to death because the room fills with gas each night? Yo, can't you get that fixed or something? And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though. I don't think it's a curse. I think it's literally just... It's like... you know, some people, they turn on their... Ah, shit, what am I trying to say? If you turn on a car in a garage that's enclosed, you know, it'll fill the garage with gas, and that's how some people can end up killing themselves. So I think that maybe the same type of thing happened to the previous occupant, and that for some reason, I mean, it hasn't killed Soseki yet, but he's definitely on the way to that happening. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrett's rooms? Definitely gas, I would say. I mean, he literally... Can I go back? 2 gold, but for some reason... Yeah, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. It's literally that. That's the reason. Okay. Oh wait, I already presented this to him. Okay, so we got new info. So maybe let's try moving. This is what I'm used to dealing with in Ace Attorney games, having to frickin' wildly go around trying to find stuff. Nothing here. Let's try going back to Shamspears and see if I miss anything. No. Nothing there. Same stuff we talked about before. Where did you come from, Wagahai? I want to get access to, like, Soseki's room to see, because the first thing that comes to mind is somehow there's, like, I don't know, a hole in Soseki's floor or something that had the lead down here. Because how else would Wagahai get here? Mr. Garrett, maybe? This is the only put. Maybe this is here? Ah, here we go. He's actually here now, is it? Okay, good. I just had to get that conversation with Soseki first, I guess. Ah, you're here now, Mr. Garrett. Right, bally business it is for me, you know. Getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. Fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes? Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such. Ah, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the place is going on, don't you know? I don't even remember if this is my voice for him. Oh, Sholmes is still with us. Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened.
Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business.
I see. Man, he still has the... You really need to get that robe fixed, man. It's still burnt.
So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? To my haunted abode today, eh?
I don't know. Your lodgings and your lodgers.
Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bally curse.
The convict's curse, you mean?
Ah, heard the stories, have you? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and keels over. Then there was the woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next? Well, it can't be helped but get the collywobbles, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still.
Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why, it sounds like the lap of luxury.
I'm not so sure about that. Imagine if Sholmes lived here and he just ends up as a victim.
Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either.
But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here.
Yes, it never hurts to keep an eye on things. In case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you've had your mishap already, sir. People are injured and dying.
That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes.
Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips.
Yeah, that's about half the stuff I say, honestly. Stuff that just comes to my lips and I don't really filter them.
Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh?
There's no need for that, Mr. Garrett. That's right. Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He isn't undeniably peculiar, however.
Is it right that he took the vacancy? Sorry. I had a shiver yawn. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away?
Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap who's so keen for a place with a background, as it were.
I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof?
That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it.
3 months? Shit, where did we hear that? We heard 3 months ago for something. Oh. Wasn't this 3 months ago? Uh-oh. Only 3 months. He's quite new here. He's quite new here too, then.
And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrido, if I might ask?
Well, it was that Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Yep. Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamspear have some kind of connection, then? Shamspear's tenancy.
That convict chap, Selden, passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady, or the malady, I don't know.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face, the actor fellow.
Really?
Yes, I remember it quite distinctly.
'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspear, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor. The floor offered erewhile for rent.
Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. I already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though.
Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee.
Those curls might be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's ground floor or nothing. It's ground floor or nothing.
Very well, we have an accord.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of messing... My frickin' Garrett voice is starting to sound like Gregson. Glad to hear it.
Lo, a Shamspear dance to celebrate.
God. What a wacko. From what I heard in court today, sounds like the chap was thieving gas. Thieving gas, I don't know. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent, too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, and all right.
Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garrett. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me.
What are you? What is this, a cat pose or something? Good lord, Sholmes. I feel like I know who the modelers for this game's favorite character was, considering the amount of animations this man gets. What's happened to you?
Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know.
Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines, then. Okay, last thing I want to do. This. Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross? Oh my god. It's not Garrett's son, it's Bob Ross's. Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really.
Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume?
Yes, yes, that's right. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache is waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? Okay, the lodger's death. Here we go. We're getting to the good stuff now. Well, not good, but you know what I mean. The stuff we need. Yes, Duncan Ross. A young chap was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. I hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers are up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. Smell of gas that alerted me it was. Ah yes, synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. But once we got inside, we all bally collapsed. Because of the gas? Yes, the room was full of it. No air at all. The stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. Wait, they got replaced? Then what the hell's happened?
Then why does Soseki get freaking almost choked to death every night? But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. Yeah. That the stove goes out at night while he's asleep in bed. Well, that's a bally curse, the convict's curse. I've done my duty as a landlord now. Someone's feeling defensive. Interesting. Ah, that reminds me, actually. About young Duncan. The night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady. To Miss Green, I assume. Wait, right? Oh no. Writing a letter. Oh, is that it? Is that where that comes in? Was it the love letter? Or the corner of it, maybe? Because we haven't seen anything that leads to that, and that seems to be likely at this point. A love letter, you mean? Yes, where did I put it now? Oh, wait, you have it? Here it is. Left it on my desk. You have it. If you'll excuse me, let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Missy Sato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no. Wow, Susato actually saying negative stuff to Sholmes. Very rare. Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So I have no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. That's gonna play on my mind. But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone. Yes, I suppose you're right. I don't know. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing. However, there is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Sholmes, please. I've already had to chastise you about this once. My undying love to you, my colorful darling, Olive Green. Olive Green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back, outside this house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Sosuke-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mrs. Sato. Oh my god. Are we heading right there? Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh man. Okay. I still don't have it with us. Let's head to the hospital bed while we still... I think I can go for a bit long. Oh, god damn it, now she's not here! Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves. Ah! What is it? Let me get... Oh, there she is. Miss Green! What is she... What were you doing? What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back. One moment, I'll be... one moment, I'll be with you in a jiffy. What the... Oh, hello everyone, what are you all doing here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. No, you fucking weren't. You were just trying to kill yourself, weren't you? She was looking at a picture, and she was about to drink something that looked extremely ominous. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all. Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright. I don't have anything else to tell you. Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her. This is the bottle Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? Perhaps it's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine. I suppose that could be it. In fact, whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once. Oh no! Well, if you have to take someone you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear. And I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment. Huh. I got an achievement for that, down in 1. This is the card that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, isn't it? Miss Naruhodo, we shouldn't be peeking into a young woman's private effects. Right. I should save peeking for gentlemen's effects only. You mustn't do that either. Maybe you, Mrs. Sato, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, hmm? Finally, telling her off for that. Okay, let's talk about your discharge first. It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh yes. Thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat. She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. Alright. Ayo. Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Oh. Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Oh, Miss Green, are you alright? She just freaking took off. Good lord. Left off. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that. No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan, a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding. That's what led him to Mr. Garrett. Yes, he told me he'd found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened. I'm so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green, she looks desperately sad. I was starting to think that's just her look. It's kind of rude, Ryunosuke, but also I agree. Now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. Yeah, not only did her lover die, but she's also got stabbed in the back by a frickin' knife that went flying out a window. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo! Yeah, I had a feeling it was you, but I didn't want to commit to the voice. Surely you were not about to leave? That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Sholmes? I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make your presence known next time. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mrs. Sato, is this. Someone just got back, so I had to go greet him.
Anyways, what do we got? Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. I'm glad that Sholmes also noticed. Sholmes might act like a real big himbo, but he knows his stuff. What do you mean? Oh my god! The rat's dead! When did that happen? I'm gonna need to look back at the recording after this. The rat is now dead. No, I was wondering why there was a rat in this room, and it was to show that she was about to drink poison. There was a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. Oh, I already see it. You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can. Oh, this is new. Definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. Yeah. Here's the picture of Duncan. Mr. Duncan Ross. Who would have ever thought he was engaged to be married to Miss Green? To lose one's beloved fiancé must be painful enough. But then Miss Green suffered that awful injury, and outside her fiancé's former lodgings, too. Oh god, I didn't even think about that last part. Fate can be very cruel sometimes. Not surprised you would try to commit suicide, almost. That mouse seems to be dead, look. I didn't notice it there before, did you? I want to see the exact moment it fell over. I did not even see it until, like, just a minute ago. It must have died, like, sometime before Sholmes came on screen. Because clearly, I feel like he was probably a bit suspicious of this whole thing before the rat died, but then once it frickin' drank the poison and just perished, he probably was like, oh shit. I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think... Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yep. Yes, I think it's fallen into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before was spilt on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. What do you gotta say for yourself on that? Nothing at all? Don't worry. I will attend to the mouse presently. Thank you, Susato. Poor mouse. Was just chilling and enjoying its life. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life? Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison. No! Miss Green, please talk to us. Speak. Suicide. 10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way. Now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine?
Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done?
I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No, none.
Okay. Next up, let's ask about this card. Oh my god, the envelope. Oh, it's a perfect match. Oh.
Neither the sender's name or address appears to have been written on the envelope or the card.
That was in Shakespeare's room. What the hell was it doing there?
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in hospital here.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait, what was that? Wait, no, wrong button. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. Slug and Salad. Shit, when did the... God, when was she struck with the knife? It was on Briar Road. Was she stabbed before or after that? Did she not go to the meetup because she got stabbed, maybe? Oh, wait a minute. The 17th of this month? That's the day. That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. It was. Okay. And 5 p.m. is precisely the time when the incident occurred. Oh, so she was about to meet them. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. So that's why we have the map. Northern corner. So, is it this here? This building, perhaps? The northern corner. It wouldn't be Bourbon Books, or it could be this. Briar Road. Being the street that Mr. Garrett's house is on. Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness. So that's what... So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. Oh, man. This is a lot to take in. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you. Next time on Great Ace Attorney 2. Resolve. We'll finish off... I assume we'll finish off the investigation. Honestly, I was hoping to finish it this episode. But we are almost at the hour mark, and I would rather not go beyond an hour's worth. So, next time we'll finish this interaction. Maybe we'll head to the trial. Who knows? Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, matane.